Yo, what's going on, gang? We've made it through the weekend. We're a couple hours away from pre-market. In case you've been living under a rock the last half a day here, Evergrande, Nacho Belgrande has seemed to have a little bit of a shit show going on over there today on a Monday morning. We're going to touch on that. They have fell 16.93%. Their property index over there fell 6%. A bunch of other stuff fell. Our futures, as you can see in the background here, pre-market is not looking very good. Monstrous sell-off again with crypto. Usually happens on a Sunday night, but everything is down, down, down. We got to buckle up, you guys. We got to grab our Kevlar vests, lots of ammunition, grenades, safety goggles, helmets, the whole deal. It's going to be a bumpy-ass ride. Let's see what in the world happens this week. More importantly, I'm going to see what the hell's going on here tomorrow. I can't wait to see this thing fire up in the morning. Crypto, red, 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 red. Obviously, you guys over here, everything, Dow futures, S&P futures, everything is redder than red can get. Then your Evergrande Nacho Belgrande down 16.93%, along with just about everything else over there is red, red, red. We'll touch on that article here in just a second. We might have a Black Monday firing up here in a few hours, boys and girls. Let's find out. Pretty excited to see what in the hell happens here. Anyway, this one here just came out a couple hours ago about Monday over there on the Evergrande. Concerns about health of China's real estate sector spilled into Hong Kong markets on Monday, sparking the biggest sell-off in property stocks in more than a year and dragging down everything from banks to Ping An Insurance, group company, and high-yield dollar bonds. The Hang Seng Property Index stumbled as much as 5.9%, the most since May of 2020, while Ping An Insurance, China's largest insurance by market, plunged 7.3% in Hong Kong. The city's benchmark Hang Seng fell 3.3%, its biggest one-day slump in 2 months. Junk-rated Chinese dollar bonds slid 2 cents, according to credit traders. So you guys, let's keep our eyeballs peeled over here. The spill off over to here. Let's see what in the world is going to happen. And then also the big thing here. We're going to find out very shortly about this whole debt limit, raising this son of a gun here. In case you guys are not too familiar with it here, this video was posted, I believe, today. Yeah, today. Let's take a quick listen here on what these fine young ladies think about this situation.
Yellen warning of dire consequences if the debt ceiling is not raised.
And they certainly could be dire, Cher. You can't just stop paying your bills and not expect markets around the world to react. Let's look at what Janet Yellen said today in an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, clearly delivering a message she very much wanted to send. She notes that, yeah, the U.S. government's always paid its bills, but now the consensus on both sides of the aisles is that failing to raise the debt limit would produce widespread economic catastrophe. Here's the doomsday ceiling scenario she paints. A default is what this would be if you stop paying your bills on things like Social Security payments, all kinds of things that people in this country depend on. Moving on, it could precipitate a historic financial crisis. The U.S. would probably get downgraded by Moody's and all of those credit rating agencies, things like that. What would the markets do? Rates might spike, stocks sell off, all kinds of turmoil. And all of this, of course, could lead this recovery to turn into recession pretty quickly. So with all this dire consequence hanging over Congress's head, why is there any doubt about this? We know, number one, that Congress is set to vote on this bill next week, raising the debt ceiling to $28 trillion. And it's in the midst of a debate over this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill that the Democrats themselves cannot agree on yet. And they've threatened the Republicans that they'll pass it on a reconciliation bill. Leave the Republicans out of it, just go Democrat all the way. So Republicans are in a position now where they're saying, if you want to raise the debt, the spending so much, go ahead and raise the debt ceiling on your own. We will not support you on this, making it all the harder. So will we get a default, Heidi, and what happens if we do? We don't know. In so many other instances in the past, and almost all of them, somehow, when there's so much pressure on, they do get it done. Goldman Sachs says that even if this bill is not passed in time to avoid the...
We'll stop it there. Goldman Sachs says there's enough money to last. I believe they said through October. I don't think there's no way that they cannot raise this debt ceiling. It's going to cause an absolute shitstorm if they don't. But there's a little part of me, like so much going on, that's going, what the fudge is going on here? We're obviously going to find out very soon there, boys and girls. So that would cause a absolute shit show, to say the very, very least. This one was pretty freaking cool here. Stock brokerages sell retail investors to hedge funds. Look at this. Our poor little apes behind a jail cell there. Anyway, a couple things in this. I'm going to pop this in the description, you guys. You can read through it. It's got a couple things here on what you do, the do's and don'ts, right? The top. I liked one little quote in here, but let's just read a couple seconds of this. Your stockbroker is not your friend. Yeah, we know that. Earlier this year, online trading platform Robinhood faced severe backlash after it disabled the buy button for GameStop and a handful of other highly shorted securities. You know what, you guys? Every time I think about it or see it, a lot of things about this whole thing has pissed me off. And you guys see me just snap on that one video about the buy button. I can't. Every time I see that or think about that, my blood boils. That is the biggest. I'm not even going to get into it. We already know. Robinhood bled users and value of investors migrated to more established stockbrokers like the real brokers, right? Fidelity, Ameritrade, and so on. Unfortunately, Robinhood is hardly the only trading platform that monetizes its users' expense and payment for order flow, as we know, discussed for months and months now, right? You guys can read through some of these here. You don't have any stocks in your name, okay? We know that. Securities lending, we know that. More portfolio erosion, more money to stock brokerages, right? This one here, I like reading this here. It got me thinking, too. We've touched on this a few times. One of the interesting idiosyncrasies of the GameStop saga is that for most of 2021, the stock borrow fee on this difficult to find security remained inexplicably low. In fact, the interest rates on GameStop shares moved in inverse correlation of what an industry standard. As the number of stocks available to borrow dropped, so did the interest rate. This is in contrast to industry standards and a mystery that remains unsolved and continue. It's absolutely right. You know, if this thing's so hard to borrow, which it is, you know, what kind of bleepery is going on over here? We see it in everything. We see it in GME. We see it in AMC. All the other stocks too. That fee has always been low. We had that 1 month. When was that? Before May? Was it in May? When it got way the hell up there. It was a very short period of time. We did see it climb. For the most part, this thing has been about that, or 1.7, 1.2, whatever the hell. Very mysterious. Again, the bleepery of the stock market, folks. Nothing seems to amaze us. So yeah, there's this pretty long article, but you can read through the rest of this. So I'll pop that in there. Pretty good little read there. A couple more things on the way out the door, you guys. We got to get ready for pre-market here. U.S. money markets funds see biggest weekly outflow in 9 months. People are offing their shit, folks. This is an article from Reuters over here on Friday. A couple things on this one. Data from Lipper shows U.S. money markets funds saw an outflow of $43.34 billion in the week to Wednesday, the largest since December 16. Yeah, hello. I'll pop that in there if you want to read the rest of it. I don't want to make this video too long, you guys. Here we go. We got an old Benzinga article. Remember, everybody's got their eyeballs over here on the old Reddit page. Superstock, mentioned about 3 times. This whole article is about Superstock, really. But GameStop stock, the naked shorting, the SEC, and why the apes aren't dumb retail. Superstock community has begun transferring their GameStop corporation to the computer shares. This thing's basically about GameStop. A couple of quotes from GameStop in there, Superstock, and the computer share ordeal, right? That's going on. So I'll pop it in their statement. We don't need to read through it. I'll pop it in the thread there, you guys. And then one turd of the day. Let's just glance at the top, make fun of this real quick, and get the hell out of here. Move over AMC. 3 stocks that you could turn 10,000 into 50,000 over the next decade. You guys, who's going to read that and sell? Oh, Jesus, Murphy. I can turn 10 grand into 50,000 over the next decade. Everybody sell all their AMC. Move on. Not, you stupid son of a guns. Okay, guys, this is frightening. This is frightening. This is frightening. And this is frightening. That is very frightening. Debt ceiling, right? Yeah, you guys, hold on. Buckle up. I'll pop these little articles in there for your reading pleasure. If you're staying up, that should get you almost through pre-market festivities. And then I was a little busy this weekend. I didn't get to any comments in there. I'll interact with you guys tonight if anybody's got anything. Let me know what you think this week, what is going to go on this week. I'm pretty excited, scared. I'm not so much our moon stocks, right? But just the market in general. This Evergrande fallout thing is going to be something to watch because they got a shit show going over there on a Monday morning. So let's see, guys. Let us see. Buckle up.